and it's just an all-around entertainment. And we get people from 5 years up to 90 years old. It's such a family entertainment fun thing.
Right.
And really, it's a time capsule. We hope to take everyone back to experience, as if they were there while this stuff was happening. And some folks are still around that were there. And for those who, are too young to remember it, well, this is a way maybe to experience it and kind of get a better grip on what Elvis's music was about and the impact that it had on people.
Right. And, I absolutely love the fact that Elvis is the one that's narrating it. You know what I mean? That really gives everybody that behind-the-scenes, more intimate feel to the performance as well. And so talk about behind the scenes. You have an interesting story about how you came into this whole career. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? That's awesome.
Sure.
Talk about following your dreams.
It's really, I got lucky. I mean, it was something that my mother was an Elvis fan as a child, was growing up, and we would always watch Elvis movies when they came on television, and so I was exposed to Elvis at an early age, and so I thought he was very cool. I mean, this is a guy that had the slick black hair and race cars and speedboats, and of course he got all the girls, and he sang and he rocked it out, and I just thought it was very cool. And after we would watch these movies, I'd grab an album off the rack. For those of you who remember vinyl, I grabbed an album off the rack and I took it in the bedroom, and I would listen to him sing, and I would try and sing like him. Now this is a very early age, and I'm talking maybe 6, 7 years old. And so I trained my voice vocally all my life for something that I never knew I would be doing ultimately. So I had a lifelong training with this stuff, and I mean, I was alive when Elvis was alive, and I remember when he passed, and I had no idea what an Elvis impersonator was or a tribute artist. I don't know what that was, So after he had passed, my parents took me to see an Elvis impersonator, and I couldn't believe the reaction that this guy got. I mean, people, when he entered the room, I mean, this was 1978. Elvis had passed away the year before. When he entered the room to the introduction of 2001, which is very dramatic, he walks in the room and he had 4 bodyguards, 2 in the front, 2 behind him, and they walked him up to the stage, and people were standing on their chairs just to get a look at this guy. And it was overwhelming to me. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And I thought to myself, oh my God, it's as if it's really Elvis. Of course it's not. And as I watched him perform, I remember thinking to myself, wow, I do this in the bedroom at home. I didn't know there was an audience for it.
Right.
And so, the seed was planted at that point. It's like, wow, I think I could do this, And so from that point on, I started trying to act out and react, like he did in his concerts and in his shows. And I would actually do mock shows for my family in the living room of our home. My father was a minister, all right, and he stood in the corner of our living room with the lights out, and he held a flashlight. And he was my spotlight. And we put on, this is no lie, we put on a live Elvis album, and he would shine that flashlight down the hall as I walked through the hall into the living room and began the performance of the live album, acting it out and singing along with it. So now here's another funny part of this. Now, I was blonde-headed, and I resembled more Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard.
I do, of course.
That's who I looked like. But at the time, they had this spray-in hair color that you could purchase, and so I would buy a can of this black spray color, and I would spray it in my hair, and to get the black hair before I came out into the living room and performed. And at the end of my performance, this cheap black hair color, as I would sweat, would actually start to run down my face. By the end of the performance, I looked like Alice Cooper.
That's too funny.
So there it is. But, like I said, it started very early. The passion and the love for it started very early in life with me, and it stayed with me.